Hello, and welcome to an all new episode of Men and Women Talk to Mars Vita Show. I am one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm so happy to be here with you. I am joined by my beautiful, wonderful, talented co-host, the one and only Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
I am good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Actually, I cannot complain.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you cannot complain.
All right. So we are also joined by some wonderful ladies, and I'll let you introduce these wonderful ladies.
You'll let me introduce them? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, not a problem. So we'll start with the one who's looking like a straight avatar with all the luscious flowers, aka Rapunzel, Tiffany Hall, aka Sherelle Wrights, resume writer, 911 extraordinaire, all the. How are you? Oh, mother of two, happily
rambunctious.
So don't be trying to holler at her, people on the internet and the internet streets. She's taking.
You know what?
How are you?
I am good. I hate that I couldn't show my face, but I look like a whole stay-at-home, stressed out mama right now. So we're gonna go with the pretty picture.
I was like, we've seen you in that decorum before, ma'am. So, but I'm gonna let you. I'll just like all the way to the left. That's okay. We'll move right on down the road to Miss Black Girl Magic herself. None other than So Smooth Radio's very own assistant of her own show, also living beneath his shadow on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Friday Chronicle Queenstress, Sunday morning encouragement. You can book her now for all viewing pleasure. She does public speaking engagements. Yes, she does have a ghostwriter who will remain unnamed. None other than mother and grandmother Tracy Caver.
Hola, people. Hola, good people.
How are you?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't tell nobody.
I mean, I know that's right.
I know that's real.
That's right. So I'm gonna remake you a Black Girl Magic shirt because Amazon is gonna get whooped on.
Okay, that's fine. You got my A right there too. I see.
Girl, listen. I'm gonna put a girl up there. She gonna be bent over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Apple puff.
Look, I'm just saying. Look, we're gonna show them some real Black Girl Magic. So, in other news, in the world of minding the business that pays you, if y'all need a shirt, we got you. This segment of the show is sponsored by my very own Hydra Jewelry Earrings by Miss Cody herself. If y'all need that IG, we will give that to you as well. Kente, what are we talking about today?
Great question. Today, we are talking about listening to your friends. And this is another great topic you came up with. Looking forward to where this goes. I have some thoughts on that, and I have some thoughts on actually my issues with listening to friends and not listening, and when people do listen and don't listen and all of that. But I'm gonna throw the mic back over to you and get this party going.
Okay. Well, we're going to ask some obvious questions. How many of us, by a raise of hands, got some friends that they actually want to listen to?
Me. I got to be audible because I can't see me.
Look, amen. That's the most important thing. You have friends that you actually want to listen to. Right. So the reason why we have this topic, listening to your friends, is because a lot of times we see people in relationship woes, because the whole summer is about relationships. I'm unpacking relationships, getting into relationships, fostering relationships, redeeming relationships. And so we want to have an honest conversation about when you actually want to listen to your friends. What do they mean well? What information do you weed through? What information do you throw away? What's the difference between listening to your friends and having a friend who keeps you accountable? So a lot of those things we're going to break down because we need to have a conversation about them. It's important. Some of us have friends who we don't take nothing they say serious. They always got something to say, but you're like, no, thank you. And then you got some friends who like, okay, that was some good advice you gave. I'm gonna follow that. Those mother hen friends. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. And I got a young friend and an old friend. And then I got my co-host friend.
Wait a minute, who you calling an old friend? Who you calling old?
I don't mean by age, homegirl.
You know I have to check you on that because we are about
it sound like
we are about 11 years apart. So
look, I'm like, it sound like you over there trying to punk me.
I'm not dealing with y'all today.
I'm like, geez. Okay, so now that we know that y'all have some friends that y'all want to listen to, let's talk about the friends that we have that we don't want to listen to.
Man, look.
You want to go first, Tiffany?
Man, look. I've had my share of fake friends that are no longer in my life, but woo, child, it was some stuff in that.
Yeah.
I think communication. We stress romantic relationships so much that we don't realize 90% of your relationships will not be in a romantic sense.
right.
They will be friendships. They will be navigating familial relationships. They will be navigating co-workers. So although we stress relationships like in the romantic sense, I really do think we need to instill in children how to be just a genuine good person to another person. When you don't get anything out of it, when there's nothing romantic tied to it. Because if you can't navigate friendship, you can't navigate relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
You so smart, friend. Anything you want to add to that, Tracy?
No, I agree. Because the knowing how to be a friend, the Bible says in order to be a friend, you must show yourself friendly. And knowing how to be a friend is something that has been lost in our, coming up. And I remember my mom still has her same friends from like high school and, friends she's had for 40, 50 years. And we drop friends like, like they're nothing. We don't take a value in friendship. And I understand why, because, some people have been hurt, some people have been betrayed by their friends and, people haven't showed themselves friendly to them. But I think we need to go back to instilling our children how to be a friend. Because faithful are the wounds of a friend. You're gonna go through some stuff, but the friendship, you got to be able to stick it out.
Absolutely. Look at how fancy and stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the friends that we've fallen out with that we're not going to ever listen
You will not take me there today. No.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll go first.
Let me sit back in my seat. Okay.
Look, I'll go first. So, I've only fallen out with two friends. And praise be to God, I was able to reconcile one of those friendships. The other one, I had no desire to reconcile. So that's the one I'll talk about. No, I'll talk about the other one because I like redemptive stories. So I had a friend, and I don't even know why we fell out, to be honest. Let's just put it like that. Like, I think it was a miscommunication. She was getting married. A lot of stuff happened that weekend. I felt like I wasn't necessarily heard or considered in something that occurred. We, to my knowledge, rectified that before she said I do. And then when people get married, and I have several friends who have gotten married, and I just feel like, they do literally become one with someone else. And it's not that they don't care about you. It's just they now have a new role in their life. And so that takes center stage. And so I think that all got lost in translation. She moved, I moved, life went on, but we went on separately. And so we were able to reconnect via app. I hate apps, mind y'all. I think they are the bane of my cell phone existence. But I did have the Bible app, and that's where we reconnected.
Oh, wow.
Asked me to do a but before she even had like a full conversation, she had sent me an invite.
Wait a minute. You can meet people through your Bible app?
Why can't you meet people through Bible app?
They can add you as a friend or send you a request.
You can hook up through your Bible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You said meet people. There you go. You add to the conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'd also known her since I was 13 or 14 years old. So it wasn't like we was trying to be entangled with each other. And so anyway, she had sent me a request to do a Bible study, and I was like, yo, this is like dope. Mind you, I had done a vision board that earlier that year, and she was actually on my vision board. It was a picture of her, and I said, Lord, I want to reconcile this relationship. That is my desire. And so when she sent that on the Bible app, I was like, okay, girl, I see you.
Yes.
I broke down a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie. This gangster cried, and we did the Bible study together. And then after the Bible study, because each day you have the scripture, the devotion, and then you have to talk about what you learned in that lesson. And so at the end of the study, she had responded and saying, I didn't even think that you were going to respond to me, and so much time has passed, but I missed you, and da-da-da-da. So we were able to rekindle that way. We exchanged numbers and addresses. And mind you, we haven't seen each other since she's been married. We've done FaceTime since we rekindled our relationship. But now, look, drum roll, we are going to see each other back in our hometown in September.
Wow.
My god sister's getting married, and her sister is getting married. So they're getting married on the same day. So we're going to see each other in Omaha in September. And I'm like, sister. So yeah, look, I said all that to say that is the person that I've listened to my entire life. And having her back in my life, cool child. Y'all can't tell me nothing. So good to be loved.
Well, I'm an Aries. Very few people come back.
Yes, I'm an Aries.
I'm a rider. I will ride till the wheels fall off. I'll give you 110 chances. So when I'm done, I'm done. People don't come back into my life like that. So I don't have any friends that I've fallen out with that have come back into my life. I really only have like 2 major fallouts, and they were bad. They were actually women that slept with my husband.
Oh, you too?
And they were friends of mine.
Man, listen.
Those are the only ones that I really fell out with. And
I'm over here trying to mind the business that pays.
Like I said on my Friday Chronicles, they can't sit at my table. They can't be in my presence. They don't deserve to breathe the air that I breathe. So there will be no reconciliation. I have forgiven them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my mouth or my hands on them. So I know I've forgiven them. But there will be no reconciliation at all, because if I can't trust you, I can't have you around me. I can't have
no friendship.
So
I got a tote with you in mind. It says grace and love or bows and hands.
Okay.
Which combo would you like?
And the truth be told, because one of them is she a hood rat. And so, she might try to provoke me. So we still might get that opportunity, but I'm praying that the Lord will, help me to maintain my composure.
Well, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer on this here podcast. Y'all just heard my boo. She said, whoever you are, use a hood rat. And if she gonna fight, I'm gonna fight. Okay?
Wait, is she talking about Shannon?
No, shut up. I'm talking.
Shut up, Kente.
What?
No, so that's just because I am one of my gifts as well as my faults is that I am such a loyalist, and I am such a person that will forgive you. And I always make the first move for reconciliation, because even if we agree to disagree that we ain't gonna be friends no more, I always try to live at peace with people because I don't want no problems. But and so since I am such a loyalist and I will ride, I don't once I'm done, I'm done. You know, I reposition people. I might not necessarily kick you out my life, but we won't hang. We won't do none of that. But if I see you doing something crazy with you, I'll speak to you and everything. But I'm just not. Once you gone, you gone. Because I done gave you 110 chances, and if, enough is enough.
So in short,
and see, I was the opposite though. That of you, I hung on to people way too long, and the person that quote unquote betrayed me, I think I found peace and release in realizing that this person wasn't your friend. You're so afraid of losing people, which stems from my relationship with my dad. It wasn't the greatest. So when I had friends, I held on to them. Like, nope, you're not going to leave me. We're going to be in this together. You're going to be my friend for life. And I had to realize some people are not, they just not going to be that person.
Yeah.
So even after I found out she did some shady stuff, we tried to rock. And when I say it went so left, like her family, and like I met this girl when I was 11 years old. So her family and my family knew each other, had, been around each other. And when I took all her family off my social media to the tune of blocking some of them, I knew I was done. Now, mind you, it was years after the incident that I took her family off of social media. I'm like, you're still holding on. Let it go. I took every single family member she had off social media, and I let it go. And now I evaluate people in my life. It's okay for me not to look at you as a close friend. It doesn't mean I don't do any harm, but you're not a close friend. I have very, very few close friends, and I'm absolutely okay with that, because I can't. People that run in these big, huge circles and they call everybody best friend, it's always some mess and it's always some drama. I can 100% say every person that is close to me, I trust them with my kids and my life. So, yeah, I had to learn. That was a learning curve for me. You don't have to hold everything so close. Some people aren't meant to be in that close circle.
Yeah.
And I thought that made me a bad person if they weren't.
No, I believe that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And sometimes that reason is so short we miss it. But everybody does not come into your life to stay. Everybody does not come into your life to be in your life for a lifetime. And we have to learn how to decipher the difference. And if we learn to decipher the difference, then it will save us a bunch of heartache. And then also discern, because there are some people, like I talked about Friday, that are set up, that are already assigned to you to have in your life, to destroy in your life. You have to be watchful as to who we allow in our circles, because there are some people that are already set up. I had a girl tell me the only reason she did what she did was because I thought that I lived in paradise, and she wanted to show me I didn't. So her whole reason
it's never your friend
for being treacherous was because you wanted to show me that my life wasn't as great as I thought.
Listen, where's she at so I can take these earrings off?
Man, listen, she was never your friend. I want all my friends to feel like they in paradise and to live like they in paradise.
Right.
I would never want to hurt my friend. Like, even the stuff that this quote unquote friend did, we weren't friends at that time. Like, our relationship had already fallen off. But had an ex of hers tried to do to me what she did with mine, I would have fought him and got her so we could get him together.
Right.
For sure.
And that goes back to the subject. Go ahead, Kenzie. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And that goes back to one of the subjects that I'm playing with for my Friday Chronicles, the girl code, the woman code. What happened? Because there used to be a time where we had a woman code. Even to go as far as in the olden day, long time ago, when a man, as wrong as he was, would have one family on one side of town and the other family on the other side of town. Then women stayed in their lane. They knew their roles. They never disrespected
those
each other.
Those were good days.
Whatever happened to the girl code, to the woman code, the sister code? What happened to that? Because now women are so treacherous. They don't care nothing about
at all.
They be like, yeah, girl, we gonna take over the world together, and then a guy comes in the picture, and it's like, it's every woman for herself.
Absolutely.
But
you know what's crazy?
Why Tiffany picture like she in high school there?
A grown person with 2 kids in this picture.
Is that a high school picture?
No, I was grown. I was like 30 in this picture.
Wow, you look like a baby there. You look like you get in trouble trying to talk to you. But no, it's interesting though when it comes to friendships, right? Because there's different dynamics, right?
Absolutely.
Where a lot of times you're not equally yoked with your friends. You love them, they're awesome, but sometimes you can be at a different place in life, and they can be in a different place, and then that causes problems. So, like, we all have our issues, right? But then some people have more issues than others. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you feel like in a relationship, a platonic friendship, that sometimes you have to be their therapist too much, or you have to be their, whatever. And it becomes like a one-sided situation where it's always like, I hate is when people say, if I had it, I'd give it to you. I'm like, but you never freaking have it.
You never
like, I'm only the one that has it. You know what I'm saying? And so when you deal with that dynamic that shifts a lot of time, just, because it's like, how do you maintain a friendship? Then you got to start deciding, do you even maintain the friendship? And do you listen to that person still? Do you value their counsel? Because, you've seen things probably in life they haven't seen, that are they really in a position to really talk to you like that? And now it sounds kind of elitist, and, you can't spell elitist without elite, right? So I don't know. It's like, have you ever dealt with that? I mean, probably not Shannon, because it seems like all of your friends were from second grade, and you guys have like this perfect relationship. I mean, I swear, like Shannon had like the best circle ever. It's almost like she curated it herself.
Hey, let me tell you, you be who you want in your life. So I have learned the importance of being the type of friend that I would want. All of my friends can attest to that. I'm not tooting my own horn. I am consistently faithful to my friends. I am there for them in conversation. I show up for them if they need me to come to their house and put people in trunks. I do that. So I am that friend, and I always have been. I love my people.
But for us regular people who,
but I think
how do you change your relationship with someone you love and you care for, but circumstances have changed over the years and you guys are just not the same place? Like, how do you even deal with that?
Communication. I always say that you're the CEO of your life, so you have to do an evaluation of your circle and figure out who you're going to demote, who you're going to promote, and who you're going to fire. And conversation. I think communication is the greatest tool that man ever created, God ever created. But the fact of the matter is we don't communicate with one another. We decide I'm going to cut you off, or I'm just going to fall away from you. Have that conversation, because you never know. You may be the spark that inspires that friend to do better, because they may not know better. So conversation, I think you have to know when to pull out. Sometimes you have to say, look, girl, there ain't nothing, we ain't beefing or nothing, but I'm just on a different path. So I'm gonna pull away a little bit. You keep on doing your thing. I'll wish you nothing but the best, but I'm gonna have to pull away because I got to do this. Yeah. And then they know, but I think that a lot of times we just say, girl, I ain't got time for her. And then we start cutting people off, and that's not right. That's not how we're supposed to handle things.
We also have to be reciprocal in our friendships.
Absolutely.
Because I have a friend that kicked cancer's ass. She kicked that cancer's ass, and she's going through the remnants of what the cancer did to her body.
Yeah.
And it can be a bit much because she is extremely sad a lot. But this is a friend that will pull up on me in a heartbeat, no matter what. This is a friend that talked me off a ledge. This is a friend that when my first love died, she was up on the phone with me all night, just listening to me cry about this experience. This is a friend that sent me, part of my light bill, part of my phone bill. So how dare I? You know what I'm saying? Say, oh, I don't feel like it. Now, you're going to have those human moments. We all have lives, especially now as adults. Because I've known her since we were in high school. She would like to joke and say that I stalked her and made her be my friend.
Sure, I want to stalk and make her my friend. She's paying light bills and stuff.
But no, when I've gone through a lot and she's been there, so we gonna ride. I tell her all the time. I say we're gonna get through this. We are going, no matter what, we are going to get through whatever it is you need to get through, because now it's my turn to be the friend to you that you were to me.
Right.
And a lot of people, they can't deal with that. Like, they like having a friend, but they don't like being a friend. And that's when you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, maybe it's you. Maybe all these people aren't toxic in your life. Maybe you like the idea of having someone in your corner, as long as you don't have to be in theirs.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody needs a friend until it's time to be one.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be on the shirt. Y'all wait for it.
We often talk about people ghosting relationships. People do that also in platonic friendships too.
Cool.
And a lot of times it's at the point where you probably need them is when they start ghosting you. Like, you get sick. Like, I hear that a lot. Someone will get like cancer or something, and then all of a sudden people, I don't know, some people have this weird thing where they push back a little when you're going through stuff like that. And it really shows kind of who's in your corner and who's not. Because sometimes it'll be that person that's not you wouldn't think of as your main close homie. They'll be the one that steps up. And the one that you thought was, they'll be the one that push, they start ghosting you and stuff like that. So, sometimes tragedy is a great, it's a great time to find out who you got on your side.
Who is,
and the cream rises to the top, right?
Yep.
So, and also you also have to. Friendship is a service industry.
It is.
And you have to be willing to be in service to other people, And if you're not, you have to examine what kind of friend you are. So. I don't know. Most people, they're not like that. So it's a trip. But going back to the whole listening to your friends, another thing is a lot of people have opposite sex friends that they go to for advice in their relationships.
I don't have no opposite sex friends, but okay, keep going.
What about me?
I know advice.
Whatever. But no. So what happens is these opposite sex friends, sometimes they're really good, they're solid, they're rock solid, right? They give you great advice. But I've dated women that had the opposite sex friend that they went to counsel, but then you're around them and you realize you don't want to just be a friend.
Right.
So you're wondering, like, so then some of the stuff they're telling them, which they think is from a good place, is from a selfish place. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. And so many people miss that. They don't see, like, Ted is not just your homie. Or he don't think he want to be more than just a homie. Now
how do you decipher that though?
It's hard when you're in the middle of it sometimes. Other people on the outside seem to see it better. Your friends, listen to your friends. Sometimes when you're in the middle of it, and also this is one thing people do too, you can't discount, is they play a role with you. So it seems as if they're genuine and they're really not genuine.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to miss those little slight nuances.
Especially when you're struggling yourself and you're looking for that. Like, okay, let's talk about it. The red table talks. Jada, but because that's what she was looking for, something that she didn't have at home. So it was easy to fall into that trap because she said she was very, very unhappy. So when you're very, very unhappy, women, especially us, because we're so emotional, that if you find somebody that's fulfilling that spot, then it's easy to fall into that that trap. You know, it's easy to fall into that. And there are some men that strategically place themselves to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Or you can be a villainous person cheating on their husband.
Yeah, that too.
But you know, I digress.
And there could be a husband cheating on their wife.
No, husbands never cheat.
What?
Black men don't cheat. What is it?
Okay,
Hashtag
hold on.
black men don't cheat.
Time out. You will be the first person we whoop on because that's an inaccurate statement.
Very
Black men,
inaccurate.
hashtag black men don't cheat.
Okay, real
Oh,
quick.
okay. That group is a whole hot mess, but okay.
Right.
Tiffany, Tiffany,
Hashtag got
right,
proof.
Tiffany.
I do not.
Really, you can leave me out there on my island by myself?
I will, yes.
Oh wow,
We're gonna leave you on that whole island. Hi, Ryan.
that whole island. But you know, it's really, you know, all of this stuff is very interesting, and it's one of those things where you're not born with a book or a manual that tells you how to deal with these things. You gotta, it's trial and error, and you find out,
Absolutely.
and all of that kind of stuff. So,
But the thing is, life will teach.
mhm.
How are we learning? You know, just because a child don't learn, like I said, don't mean the teacher's not teaching. Sometimes life is teaching us, but we're not learning the lessons. So we keep going in the same vicious cycle, spinning in this circle, because we just will not grasp what life is trying to teach us. Once you go through a scenario in life, you should be able to have a sense. God created us with a sense to be able to pick up on some things. So once you go back through that scenario again, there's going to be some commonalities that you pick up and you say, wait a minute, this feels familiar to me. This sounds familiar to me. Let me put up my guard. But we fall into the trap because we refuse to learn what life is trying to teach us.
And life is a teacher. That's gonna be on the t-shirt. Y'all just wait.
Shetty is always hustling.
I am trying to be the business that pays you.
Last week, and not to throw Ryan under the bus, but last week Ryan brought up some interesting points about when it comes to relationships, about starting out
Oh, of course.
at friends first, right?
Oh yeah.
And you know, I agreed with a lot of what he said, you know, about that. And so, but then there becomes a thing where you have the how would you say the romantic underbelly of what possibly can be between you two, right?
Yeah, that energy.
Right.
Yeah.
So it makes it kind of interesting if you want to start out by being friends when there's somewhat of an underbelly of I want you, you want me, you know, kind of thing going. Or sometimes it's one-sided. So I'm pretty sure you guys probably experienced that where JoJo really wants more than a friendship and that's all you're offering.
Yeah.
So you have to decide, like, you know, is JoJo gonna be cool? You know, is it gonna be cool? You know, do you have to, or are you gonna have to not mess with them? So,
listen, I'm too old for those entanglements now. I used to have some of those one-sided friendships. I can't do it. Like I cannot do it. I legit have a male friend. We have never desired each other romantically. He's married. I'm involved even before he was married. Like it's been exes of his, or girlfriends of his, have been like, I don't like you hanging around such and such. I don't like you hanging around such and such. You know who was never in that conversation? I. Because there was no attraction. Like we looked at each other and was like, yeah, that's not what we about to do. And that's been our relationship. And I love that. I do not. I have now found out that it does not behoove me to go to a male and ask him for advice when he wants something else.
Right.
So I'll go to a girlfriend. I'll go to a non-biased coworker, but I will not go to a friend if we were ever
Intimate.
entangled.
Yeah.
That part.
I don't do that anymore. I do not do that anymore. Like it's been a couple of relationships where I like, you know what, let me fall back because I can't trust your judgment. I cannot trust if you're going to give me solid advice. And if we were entangled, what if those feelings? What if we get back tangled? And I don't want to listen. I just stay in my lane. You stay on your side of the world. I stay on my side of the world. And every now and then, if I see you in the Walmart or the Piggly Wiggly, I say hi, bye.
Hey, that's my spot, Piggly Wiggly.
You're like, hey.
And I keep it pushing.
That part.
You know, I don't know, man. Can you be friends though with someone you used to sleep with?
Nope. At least I can't. I'm gonna say I cannot. And I like it that way. However, I do have some friends that I have not been intimate with that we used to talk or date, and we can talk about anything. And I always give a disclaimer from talking to somebody else. Hey, this is so and so. We used to talk back when Moses parted the Red Sea, and Pharaoh didn't want to let his people go. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. But I just want you to know who that is. But yeah, people I've been intimate with, no, they can stay all the way on the other side of the street. Because I don't need to ear talking about, oh, she hitting like mind your business and your manners. Matter of fact, just mind the business that pays you, because I'm not it. Okay?
I can. I am friends with people I have been intimate with. And nobody will ever know that we've been intimate. But we're still friends.
Yeah, but that's like I call it the ghost of dick pass. Like you got
wow.
and I kid you not, we can see each other, we hug each other, say how you doing. I mean, because I'm like I said, I'm an Aries. Once I'm done, I'm done. And I make that clear. So we don't, I ain't messing with them. I don't have no desire to go. No.
When the ghost of dick pass is hovering around, it makes things kind of crazy.
Not for me. And if it makes them uncomfortable for them, then you don't have to be around me. But I'm not going to just because you uncomfortable. I've made that clear.
That's why.
Where we are. There's only one.
Right, so how many ghost dicks do you got to keep around?
We're still friends too.
How many ghost dicks can you keep around then where it's like just too much?
See, I don't have that many.
After a certain amount of time.
You friends with all your little hoochie coochies?
First of all, that's different.
I said what I
that's first of all, it's different.
Why is that different?
And
that double standard.
No. It's a different thing. I'm not friends like we hang out and we.
I'm not friends like we hang out either. We just
hang out with the people we used to screw.
I'm talking about
in the same circle.
No, I'm talking about where they are in your life, they're intertwined in your life. For
no,
real.
we don't.
Oh no, not like that. We're just no, we're still friends. Like we are. Sometimes we're in the same circle, and we see each other. We're part of the same groups, do the same things, and we see each other. But no, we're not. We don't we don't go to dinner. They don't even live in the same state with me.
When I was young, dude, I dated a girl who had this guy that she had a brief thing with, and that they became best friends.
Uh-huh.
And that guy was a douchebag.
Right?
Why?
Because he had your woman first?
Dang, you put it like that. No, just playing. No, he was just a douchebag. He was a douchebag guy, but she never saw it, right? Right? She never saw it. And
maybe she liked douchebags.
Maybe.
Wait a minute, she dated me. So what's that mean? I don't like that. Hilarious. So that's funny. That's actually funny. I can't even mad at that. If you're gonna stick a knife in me, be funny with it. No, that's funny. Dang, and they caught me off guard. With your 15-year-old picture. But no. So, and I would point out, my issues with this cat, and she never saw shit. She was like deaf, dumb, and blind to it. And and I was young, so I was doing some dumb stuff with that. Like now, I wouldn't even go for no crap like that. But it actually came to blows between me and dude because he said something crazy, and I wanted an excuse anyway. What's up, Mafuni? I wanted an excuse anyway, so but I don't know, man. Like those can be some troubling things though when you keep. Like I'm not going to keep some past vagina floating around, you know, for my lady, you know, I'm just not gonna do that. So,
So
you know,
this is where we interject and say to all of our believing friends, we encourage you not to have sex with people before you get married, so you won't be in these type of conversations and dealing with these type of entanglements. Okay,
Man, listen.
right around the corner. Okay.
look. I am not a virgin. Believe it or not, I know you guys are shocked.
I'm a virgin.
Right.
Me too.
I'm a
I got
revert.
two kids. I'm a virgin.
Like they don't have like where guys can get their virginity back. Like women can have that surgery. There's
Whoa,
penis rejuvenation. There's no penis rejuvenation.
So, no. Rejuvenation.
That does not make you a virgin.
That doesn't give you your virginity back. That is for women that have had 3 sets of triplets, and she would like it nice and tight.
Right.
What?
That's not how that works.
Well, I mean, the best way you can do it, and we talked about this before, is if you have some sage around your private parts. You can bless the demons away from your private parts.
So men are demons?
I mean,
some of them are. You got
that's what I just heard.
Some of them are. You know, I think I'm going to start this though. There should be like a ceremony after you get out of a relationship, a sexual relationship, where you should do the sage, have a religious figure pray over your body parts and just get that out.
You probably shouldn't have been having those demons up in it anyway.
Absolutely.
Start right there. Like
Absolutely.
you should have been being celibate until you get married, then you can celibate to your husband or your wife. How about
that? She said it's a lot of work.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying though, like, I mean, look, is that even a possibility these days to not be sexually active a little bit? Like,
heck
yeah.
Like, how are you going to not?
It for over a year. It's possible.
I've been doing it for longer than that.
Okay, well, you guys are very blessed. You guys are very blessed. You know,
it's a choice.
Some of us are not wired that way.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It is an absolute choice. Like everything in life, you choose to wake up and go to work. You choose to put on a black shirt or a blue shirt. You choose to brush your teeth. You choose to wash your butt. You choose to wash your clothes. You choose to make lunch. You choose not to engage in sexual activity before you get married. You choose to be a ho-ho. Those are all choices.
No, there's a reason why they said that guys think with their little head instead of the big head.
Where that is that Bible? Because that's not
boys think with their little head.
I can't help it. There's a brain down there.
Men know how to take their dick and go home.
No, I've done that.
Oh, Tiffany, I like that's another shirt. Grown men.
Listen, that's not me. That's not me. That is all. That's all boo boo. Nelson's favorite phrase is "take your dick and go home."
Go home.
I gotta speak up for the guys that you know don't always do that. Okay, and I'm just gonna be honest. There have been times where I didn't do that. I should have.
Everybody's human. No, everybody's human.
You made. That's the thing. It's a choice you make. You make a choice to do what you want to do. The fact that you chose not to go home is your choice because you could have left. You could have got in the car and went home, or you knew what you was going over there for in the first place, and you could have stayed home.
But let me make something clear. I'm not like a whore going around just sleeping with people right and left. I'm talking about. If I'm in a relationship with a girl, I'm gonna sleep with her.
Oh, a relationship, fine. That's different.
Right.
But this, you know what's funny though?
Because we grown.
If we saw a 600-pound person eating 5 bazillion pizzas, we'd be like, "Oh my God, they need to get that under control." When we see crackheads or we see people strung out or geeking up or whatever you want to call it on the street, we're like, "Oh my goodness, they have a problem." How come we normalize being so sexually active that's what you're led by? That's not normal. Like when you look at people as your next physical fix, as your next getting your rocks off at all times, that's a problem. But we don't ever address it. We tell boys that that's normal, that they hop from one girl to the next girl to the next girl to the tune that they get aggressive with it. We tell them that that's fine, but we don't let fat people eat all the pizza in the world, and we don't let heroin addicts just out here do their thing. Why can't we tell sex addicts, "Hey, bro, That's not normal.
Wait a minute. Who slaps pizza out of fat people's face?
But what I'm saying is, there's a sidebar that's had as you're looking at this person that could be a candidate for my 600-pound life at the Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me make it clear again. I'm not saying going around sleeping with everybody. I'm saying if I'm in a relationship with a young lady, sex is a high possibility.
But relationships can be tricky because you got these people that think you can have these 2-month relationships. All this didn't work out. Okay, I'm with the next person. All this didn't work out. This didn't work out. I'm with the next person. Next thing you know, you've been in 20 relationships in a year. Now, if that's a conscious decision, that's one thing. But when it's a quirk that you can't see, you might need to get some help with that. That's not the norm.
Oh, well, dang. I feel like I need to get a therapist. I know I'm the only person up in here, but I'll take it. I'll take all the
And I think that's why it's so important that in olden times where they used to have betrothals and engagements and things like that, because we don't even get to know people. We get in these relationships, we sleeping with them in 1 or 2 dates, probably on the same night, and then we moving in with them, and then all of a sudden it falls apart, and then we say, but you never really knew because you never got to know them. So then we move on to the next person. We waiting them 2 weeks. Now we living together with that person. And Tiffany is right. It becomes a fix. Now I gotta have, once this person gone, I gotta get the fix for the next person. And I'm looking out for the next person, the next victim that you're gonna leave stranded on the side of the road. So I think relationships, like she said, is tricky. And they're not even relationships no more. They're situations. Because they over with
entanglements.
I gotta address the stranded on the side of the road. I gotta address the stranded on the side of the road. Like, women like sex just as much as men. So it isn't
absolutely,
that's a whole joke.
Absolutely, I do.
Right. So
y'all do.
So I'm not like, so this idea of he had sex with me and left me on the side of the road. Like, stop it.
No. Let me stop you there. Because you know how many women have a body count because they didn't know how to properly get out of an aggressive situation. They didn't know how to say no. Or you have guys, no means try harder.
Stephanie.
So there are a lot of situations that women navigate that they don't want to navigate. No one is playing the victim. Women do like sex. They know we're all grown as women.
That's right.
Very grown.
I like it, but I do like it.
Where do we jump to an extreme?
We like snatching souls.
Snatching souls,
Just like the next dude.
Put that on a t-shirt.
I do not like it that we make women that want to take a break, or even men, because I think women it's like looked up to that a woman is celibate. But a man that's celibate, he got to be gay, or he got to be weird, or strange. And it's such a double standard that it hurts both genders.
Right.
No. I'm saying this. Why do we got to jump to an extreme? Like, if a guy's forcing himself on a woman, he's a dirtbag.
But no. It doesn't have to be force. Coercion is force. If you have a person that is not all the way sure they want to make that move, you need to leave them alone.
How do you know
if it's not all the way willing, listening to your partner, that comes in getting to know them, that comes in not thinking with the little head, but thinking with the bigger one.
Okay.
As far as you know that person has issues, if you know that person is going through, or you know that person is just not ready for that type of relationship, then be man enough to walk away, or woman enough to say, I'm not going to put them in a place, because that's not what I'm offering. If you know I'm telling you, I want a relationship with you, I love you, and all you want to do is have sex, then why put me in that situation, man or male or female, when you know that it's going to end up hurting me in the long run? And I'm telling you this up front. If you don't want a relationship with somebody, then don't sleep with them if that's what they're looking for.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about grown people who decide to have sex with each other.
Okay.
So if you decide to have sex with somebody, they're not coercing you. That's what you're doing. So
we're clear on that, kids.
So,
But we are talking about grown people having sex with each other.
right. So how's it coercion if they're having sex?
No. You said that you made the comment about women playing victim and pretending they were quote unquote left on the side of the road. And I said there is an issue if y'all had a 55-minute session and 45 of it was to convince her to have this 10-minute session, you probably should have left her alone. Because baby, when I'm ready, you ain't got to convince me. It's on the topic.
Okay. If it takes you 45 minutes to get a girl in bed, then yeah, I agree with that. But I don't know.
But that's all. That's the
if you don't
only.
want to sleep with somebody, don't sleep with them. Like, what is so hard about that? If you don't want to sleep,
Okay,
with
tell that to a woman tell that to women that if they don't give their numbers out, they might get killed. What do you mean if you don't want to sleep with somebody, don't sleep with them? Some women have slept with dudes because they rather somewhat be willing than to be all the way raped. And I have heard these stories.
Okay, now we're talking about an extreme. I'm not talking about
those aren't extremes.
These aren't extremes.
Because we're not. I'm talking about every day in current.
Every day,
and they want to have sex. But the thing is, it all goes back to that person, to hearing communication with that person, and also that person's state of mind. Because I might be willing to have sex with you on the preconceived notion that we're going to be in a relationship, and you know good and damn well we not.
Okay, I'm talking about a man and a woman that's they're in a relationship with each other.
There's no question about
I'm not talking about a rapist. Like we're talking about a rapist.
But there's no.
I'm only bringing up these points because you said they were extreme.
Let me say this: if somebody is raping you, he's a dirtbag. He deserves to be put in prison. We can all agree on that. So
I mean, I say the grave, but tomato.
Of course, yes. I mean, that's not even debatable. I'm talking about when two people are in a relationship that becomes sexual, and then it doesn't work out, and the guy breaks up with her, then he left her by the side of the road. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some guy using Jedi mind tricks to Jedi some girl into the bedroom and all of that stuff. We can agree that's wrong. I'm talking about a regular, normal situation, not some extreme of some guy that's stabby, with some chick. So that's what I'm talking about. So we can agree. We don't even have to go to the guy that's forcing himself on a chick. That's duh. Of course, that's wrong. I'm talking about a regular relationship.
So what is your question? Because I'm okay with that. If they two consulting adults and they enter a relationship, all the sex you want, that's on you. If y'all break up, you break up. I mean.
Right. So how did I leave you to the side of the road? We agreed to have sex. It was, maybe we both liked it. Maybe one of us did. Maybe whatever.
I think we going on a mouse
wheel.
Yeah, I think so too. But I know it's like I hear that, and I'm like, it just like have a trigger for me. So I was like, let me address that, because it's like. Leaving by the side of the road, like I don't, like I said, there's leaving by the side of the road, which is, misrepresenting yourself and doing that kind of thing. That's obviously wrong. If you're lying or using some sort of, that's wrong. I mean, we all agree with that, but we're talking about like just a regular situation where two adults are making, then that's,
I do agree with that. Regret, you having regret the next day definitely does not mean you were taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. You just let that liquid courage or whatever it was in your system or mind take it a little too far. Regret does not equal rape.
Right.
Because listen. I think we all have regrets where we look back and be like, you know what? You were not worth the count. You were not worth the count. I just want to pray you off my list.
Well, let me just clear, because I'm the one said side of the road, and what I was talking about when I said side of the road, I was talking about a man or a woman who is involved with someone who is in love with them, but they're not in love with them, and they still take advantage of the sexual relationship. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about being mature enough to say, look, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you. Then all the cards are on the table. If you tell me, if I tell you I love you and you say I don't love me and I choose to have sex with you, that's my choice. Right. But if I say I love you and you say, oh, I love you too, and we going to be together, knowing in your mind we not, now we don't have sex and now you gone. That's what I was talking about. That's male or female. So that's what I'm talking about.
In that case, then I agree. When you misrepresent yourself, you're a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we cleared that up. 3,827 minutes later. Crazy.
You know what, Shannon?
Now that we've listened to our friends.
Right.
What else would you like to ask us, Kente?
I'm glad because I have 3 beautiful ladies here with me. So I always like to get counsel from intelligent people. Have you ever been in a situation as a friend where you've realized the person doesn't realize how awesome they are, or how they go for things that they shouldn't go for in relationships, and it's because of a lack of self-esteem, a lack of because a lot of people beat up on themselves and they don't think they're worthy and that kind of stuff. Have you guys ever given counsel on somebody to actually, or maybe they're just going through a period of time, because sometimes this happens where you have confidence and then you lose your confidence. So like as a friend, what do you do when you spot that in a friend? And have you guys ever had to try to build somebody back up? Because
yes.
I've done that as
yeah. I've seen friends do things that it's like, okay, what's going on with you, or where you feel like you don't deserve better. And on the flip side, they've adjusted my crown in private. Like, you don't have to put up with this. You know this, right? You are better than this situation. So I think those are the best type of friends, when they see you wallowing in a level that's lower than where you should be. And instead of making a spectacle of it, they convince you can get up and you can rise above the situation. Mm-hmm. Right. Because it's when you're already low, it's easy to break someone's spirit. Right. It's easy to make them feel like they deserve what they get. And I think a true friend can love you back to where you should be. And which is why I say we put way too much emphasis on the romance instead of teaching people how to be decent people to other people, when there is when there's nothing from them to gain from it. So I've definitely had those moments where I told my friends, hey, you don't have to deal with this. You don't have to put up with this. You don't. And if they decide, you know what, this is what I want, then we gonna rock with it. I'm gonna make sure it's the best situation for you and you can get the most out of it. Even if in my head I disagree with you, right, I don't have a right to tell you what path you have to go down, because when you die, it's gonna be you and God. It's not gonna be a group meeting. I can't enter the chat. So I just have to love you enough to be like, okay, if this is what you're going to decide to do, and if I can't handle it, I'm not going to be around making you feel bad about it. But if this is the path you're going to take, I'm going to make sure you're going to be good. I'm going to back you up on 1,000. Because I've had plenty of friends that made decisions. I'm like, I wish they hadn't done that, but you can't live for me, and I can't live for you.
Right.
Amen.
Somebody better preach to the choir.
You know what?
Well, I had to tell myself. Look, little girl, you deserve better than that.
Look, little girl.
You don't have to put up with that, And then I have to honestly say, when I was going through the first part of my divorce, Shannon was there, and she kept me uplifted, because I would beat myself up pretty bad about what happened and everything. When stuff like that happens, it messes with your self-esteem. It makes you wonder what you did wrong, what was in that person that you didn't have, all that kind of mess. So Shannon did walk me through that. And so I have to constantly remind myself of that, because I'll settle for less than I deserve if I don't constantly remind myself that I don't have to.
Yeah. And low key, Tracy K posted something on Facebook that sometimes gotta bring people into your life to see if you stupid. And we were and I was like,
Oh my God.
and I was like, then a couple of weeks later, I was like, yeah, she's right. I'm being stupid. I'm stupid.
He keep running one back, and I just had to make up my mind that look, I'm not gonna do this no more.
Listen, honey. Now
can I ask a crappy question?
What's your crappy question? You the host. You can ask.
Can someone have an inflated view of their worth? Like
what?
And people have inflated views of their worth. Like maybe they're not worth that much on the grand.
No. According to my Father, Lord and Savior, no. Your soul, your body, and your person is priceless. I think the opposite.
What was your question?
I said, we talked about people having a low value of themselves. Can people have an inflated value? Like maybe they think.
Of course, the Bible says pride comes before a fall. So it's going to have pride.
But see, I think the pride comes in having a low stock of yourself. You have something to prove.
I got an ex that is just I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I think
I've been around people who think, they're the boo-boo and they're not. So, I mean, and you're like looking at them like, really, dude, like, seriously?
And, there are some people that I've been around that I'm like, I wish I had their confidence.
Yeah.
Because they just, they're just who they are. And they do, they're just them. And I'm like, my God, I wish I had the confidence to just do and be like that person, because I'm so guarded. And, sometimes we allow other people think to dictate what we do. And, some of the things that we want to do, we don't do because of what people think. And sometimes I wish I had the confidence that some people have. But I think that's an individual thing. I think that you have to know what's in that person to know, how they feel. Because like Tiffany says, sometimes people do have pride to cover up their insecurities.
Yeah, I wish I had
so won't nobody make jokes about them.
I wish I had confidence and I wasn't so shy.
Should say bye.
What? I'm working on it. I'm working
on these lies. That's what you're working on.
That's why I'm on my Bible app.
I know you not.
I'm looking for
Kente, you gonna be the person that get kicked off Christian Mingle. I'm sure of it.
First of all, I don't mingle on Christian Mingle.
If you're on there talking about come get songs.
Because of Shannon, I'm gonna be on that Bible.
I'm gonna be off in your songs.
Because of Tracy, I'm gonna be on that Bible app. Because I didn't know, thanks to Tracy, I didn't know you could hook up. No, it was Shannon, right? Was the one.
You can accept friends on Bible app. Why wouldn't you do Bible studies with your friends?
Right.
So y'all hooking up during Bible studies, Shannon?
I didn't know that was your thing, though. I didn't see. I like Shannon. Shannon be on there trying to be wholesome.
Kente said y'all.
First of all, we're gonna go back to what my shirt say. Mind the business.
Mind the business that pays you.
No. We're gonna talk about
this. When I told my story, it was about a woman who was my best friend at age 14, and we fell out after she got married. So one thing I'm not gonna do is pretend like you can hook up on a Bible app. What you need to be doing is getting you some Bible and applying it to your.
But you think about it like
Nope. That's what you need to be doing. And then once you get the word up in you, once it manifests itself and shows itself strong in you, you can start talking to people who you might want to pursue a romantic relationship with. But you just sound like a wolf. Is she
going after
wolf? Tiffany,
whomever you want to devour. The Bible talks about the two homeboys.
We know you're trying to drop that D off in their song. Stop playing. We see you, player.
Isn't this a great story that years later after we've gotten married and then it's like we hooked up, we were reading Psalms together and we fell in love.
Please don't include this Bible in your hooking up. That's what you're not gonna do.
And you're
have to reinvent y'all.
We were reading Deuteronomy and we realized that we had something going.
Blessed be the name. Forgive him, Lord, for he knows not how ignorant he is.
Tonight, okay? You were tripping.
I'm giving some people to think about. Don't think there's only like Tinder and Plenty of Fish, Christian Mingle. There's also the Bible app.
I mean, you can meet somebody at church. You can meet somebody while holding your sign for whatever thing you advertising on the corner.
That's true.
You can meet somebody at a funeral home. You can meet somebody wherever God applies that a meeting up to take place if you trust him to
Man, listen.
And so you have to
You
mind
can meet somebody on social media on a non-dating app.
that part. You could have a fender bender, and that's the future.
I've done that. The fender bender thing, yeah. So that does work. You changing information, you know. So that happens. There's any place.
I mean, you can volunteer for a stranger shoot and go take a picture with a stranger.
You could be a repass and make a connection.
Shout outs to Heather and Baxter in Virginia.
Honestly, I feel like there's no place that's wrong to
it's meant to be. You gonna
shoot your shot. Yeah, you can shoot your shot anywhere, man. There is no wrong place to shoot your shot.
There is space and opportunity if it's the right person.
Right. You know, we could be at the gym.
There's definitely wrong places to shoot your shot.
But now, if you're, no, it depends on your. Like, if you're the boss, you shouldn't be shooting your shot at your employees. If you're a gynecologist, you shouldn't be.
There's decency.
Like, you should be doing an exam and be like, "Hey, so what are you doing Friday?"
Absolutely not. Decency in order, sir.
Be like, I've seen a lot of these, and yours is
kind of attractive.
I hope that's not somebody in the gynecologist world's pickup line. Lawsuits.
Like, I'm an expert.
Lawsuits.
I'm just saying, yours is the best I've seen.
Yeah, no, lawsuit.
Are you single?
No.
That would be wrong.
Horrible.
That would be wrong. I say that's wrong. And according to Shannon, I'm a wolf. So, and I always say the gas station. Gas station is underrated. I'm just saying.
I mean, I wish somebody would come over and pump my gas.
I get my gas pumped.
Fellas, the gas station, y'all.
I love it.
And the grocery store too. I've gotten a lot of action at the grocery store.
I don't go to the grocery store.
I love going to the grocery store.
I love it. Then you could look in her
shopping.
You could look in her basket to see what she's getting. If she's getting a bunch of microwave dinners, you might want to pass.
Yeah, no, but I love going to the grocery store. It's therapeutic.
And she got a lot of veggies in there. You're like, okay, all right. She got some fish, You're like, okay. She got a little wine in there, little red wine, white wine.
If she got some twist ties and some rope and some gasoline, you might want to mind your business and your manners.
Then you might want to go. Hello, Miss Sky. We have somebody in. Did you come in by accident?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
Is that give rope?
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I buy vegetables.
You buy vegetables. See what I mean? So in the grocery store, you're gonna look in her cart. She's a very pretty girl too. I don't know if you guys can see her. You look in her cart, you're gonna be like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I'm just telling you, man. There's no bad places to shoot your shot. Do it, except for what I said earlier. So the dog park. I
don't take my dog to the dog park. It's too many germs.
Well, now. Now.
Before COVID.
Really?
Fleas. People don't get their dogs. They don't give them flea and tick. Everybody don't do that. They're the same people.
Man, listen, my dog has never been a dog park, and he don't feel like
It's cheap.
Never.
Missing that.
Oh, okay.
And my dog will never go to the dog park.
All right. So when he's with me, I won't take him to the dog park.
He ain't ever coming with you.
Oh, now you just going back and forth with that one.
Because you still ain't send no puppy support.
I told you that discount about didn't I send you the discount about he can get his he can get groomed like 15% off?
Okay. So, Tiffany, how can we follow you on social media? Because I'm not playing with you.
Dang. I am
right now.
I am Sherelle Wrights on Instagram, Sherelle Wrights on Facebook, and Sherelle Icon for now on YouTube. But I'm about to change it to Sherelle Wrights because I got to get my vids up. I have not a single vid, but we're working on it. So if you want to follow me in advance, that would be great.
Yeah. Well, you know, I can always count on Tiffany getting my back. So just saying.
I'm not doing it,
Tiffany.
I didn't really make sense, but okay, if you say so, can
right. Tiffany, tell Nelson to come join us. Send him the link. I mean, we're not going nowhere. I just wanted to tell Kente to hush, so I was like, let's just go get to how we can.
See how they do. See what black men go through.
No, just you, bro.
I'm writing that book.
I'm leaving y'all.
I'm writing that book.
Just you, bro. So since we went through since we went to Tiffany, Tracy, how can we get you on social media, ma'am?
I am on the social media under Tracy J. Caver on Facebook as well as Instagram. I'm also under Living Beneath His Shadow, Facebook as well as Instagram, as well as Also Smooth Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So
right now.
Oh, and the blog in livingbeneathhisshadow.wordpress.com.
I love your poster too in the background.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Kente, any final thoughts before I ask you how I get you on social media?
I'm just saying, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I'm going to read the Bible tonight.
Go to the Bible app.
Right. Anybody want to join me? I'm going to be with Jeremiah. Third Jeremiah tonight.
Third Jeremiah.
Yeah, meet me on the app.
Wait a minute.
Clearly, Kente is not quite sure the plans that the Lord has for his life. Right. Plans to prosper him and not to harm him.
My favorite is Third Jeremiah.
Oh.
Wait a minute, it's the book of Eli. The book of Eli, right? That's a good one too.
Blessed be the name.
Lord have mercy. Will not.
I shan't not with you today, sir. I shan't not.
Oh, and everybody, we're going to be on Get Vocal. The link is in the chat for the post show as well.
Oh, we ain't going to do it in StreamYard?
No, but for the people on Facebook, they have to go to Get Vocal to see it.
Oh, okay. You were so disrespectful. They're right here.
All right. So, Shannon, how can we get you on social media?
I just asked you that, but okay.
Oh, my bad. You can give me a Kente F on Twitter, Kente Ferguson on Instagram, and of course the website is indyradio.org. That's INDY radio.org.
And of course, all of you lovely people out in these internet streets can follow me on Facebook, Twitter at Shannon for like the president - Jefferson like the president. I didn't say Instagram because I now have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. But 6 Instagram pages.
Why though?
You can follow any of them. If you like porn, you can follow me on Spicy, Salty, Savory, Sweet. If you like shirts that got a little explicit or clean version on them, you can follow me at the Saints and the Aints. If you would like a custom card for your loved one, you can follow me at One of One Card Boutique. If you would like some custom poetry, you can follow me at OD Shenanigans. You can just follow me anywhere. If you need me, you can find me. I'm here on Mondays. Don't be a stalker, though. I need you to still mind the business that pays you, and have a great night. We'll be here. We'll be here next Monday, and we'll be talking about more relationship woes or relationship throws, but we will not be talking about dating people on the Bible app. So thank you guys for joining us, and have a good night.
Wednesday, I got a podcast, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. So check me out.
There.
All right.
What's on that? What you talking about?
I am talking.
You're a whole
no. First of all, I know the podcast I'm doing.
Oh, as he's looking it up,
Tomorrow night, Marilyn Rodriguez is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. So, and she's a wonderful. She does her own podcast. She worked in politics, and she's a community activist. And we're going to be talking about her book, her podcast, and all of that stuff. She's really cool as heck. So, yes, and I knew that. I just had a senior moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, before I forget, August 1st, the relaunch of A Set Apart Woman in the Intimate Conversations starts.
Yes.
We are going to do something like daytime talk show TV, but more intimately, more raw and real. And I mean real. We're going to have conversations about marriage and being on the brink of divorce. We're going to talk about living with the fact that, your mother was killed by your father. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, and people are actually going to be on the show talking about different things, because it's important that we have these conversations and we foster these healing relationships, including the healing that we need to do with ourselves, so that we can heal and be whole in relationships with other people. So y'all look forward to A Set Apart Woman. I'm so excited. And my new co-host for that show is none other than the revolutionary, Tracy Caver.
Yes.
Hey. All right. And I'll be terrorizing from the chat.
I'm sure you will.
Terrorize.
We look forward to it.
Yes. Because, y'all need my brand of...
We do.
We need your brand of
my madness,
We do. Well, before we go, since we are still technically live, and Nelson has joined us, and I don't want to leave him out because he is sitting here looking ever so
what up, man?
Good
Hi,
evening.
Nelson. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Thank you very much. It's good to be here. It's a very great operation you guys have here. It's very entertaining, very informative.
Thank you.
Oh, we are hilarious, honey.
I like this guy already.
We're going to take this show on the road, honey. Any partner
first?
What'd you say, Tiff?
Go pick me up first.
Oh, sure. We'll pick you up and your little baby.
All right, so we're going to cut out the show, and then we'll just keep talking.
All right, we'll